Hello, can you spare a moment? There's something I'd like to discuss with you, if that's fine.
Hey, Irish. Always a pleasure to hear from you. I'm on my lunch break now, so we can talk for a bit. What's on your mind? Anything I can help with? Certainly. Let's go ahead.
Well, Nancy recently went through a divorce and wants to live with us. She's also bringing her boyfriend, William.
Oh, hold on a second. I understanding this correctly? Nancy got divorced and she has a boyfriend now?
That's right. Her husband found out about her affair with William, so they split up. It's a shame for my daughter, being cast aside like that.
But she was the one who cheated, right?
They're planning to get married, so they'll be living with us.
Let me make sure I have this straight. Nancy cheated on her husband with William, and now they want to move in with us.
That's correct. You shouldn't act so surprised. Life is unpredictable. You need to show more sympathy, Renee.
But I've been thinking about it too, and I'm not sure it's the best idea.
Really? Why's that, dear?
I just feel like Nancy needs to learn to stand on her own 2 feet. If she moves in with us, she might become too dependent, you know. I want her to figure things out on her own.
I understand your perspective, but she's family, and we should be there for her.
I understand that life rarely goes as planned, but I think that applies more to Nancy's ex-husband. I mean, she was the one who cheated, right?
I really think cheating is a nasty term. My daughter found her true love after marriage. You need to keep an open mind about these things.
I'm not sure I can agree with you on that.
Well, I guess that means you're close-minded. Anyway, that's not the main thing I wanted to discuss.
What did you want to talk about?
William doesn't have a job.
Wait, wasn't Nancy a housewife? They both don't have jobs.
That's right. I know you have a good job, so for now, you'll cover their expenses.
Excuse me, who decided that? I have not heard anything about that. I never agreed to it.
I decided. I told you they don't have jobs. How are they expected to fend for themselves without any funds? You need to find it in your heart to support your family in times of need.
Why does the responsibility of handling all this have to rest on me? I never consented to any of these arrangements. This is news to me, and I can't just be told it's now my ongoing obligation. Moreover, I have no desire for either of them to reside in my home.
I don't recall seeking your opinion on this matter, Renee. Understand that this isn't your residence. It's mine. I set the rules, and what I say stands. I anticipate your cooperation without further objections.
You believe you're in control here?
Well, yes, I am. You're my son's wife, making you subordinate in the family hierarchy. Just be a dutiful daughter-in-law and adhere to my directives. Do you comprehend?
And by adhere to my directives, you mean shoulder all the expenses for the 2 individuals moving in tomorrow? I'm uncertain if there's even room in the budget to support 2 additional mouths in our household.
Listen, young lady, you may be my daughter-in-law, but Nancy is my daughter, and William could become my new son-in-law. They're your family just as much as mine, and you'll do everything within your means for them.
But they aren't even married yet. They're just showing up unannounced, and for some reason, I'm the one who's going to have to foot the bill for everything.
If you don't like it, then why don't you just get a divorce? If you hate being a member of this family so much, why don't you divorce my son and never come back, huh? Because I know that my Jackson is a good boy who would always do as his mother tells him.
I really don't think that Jackson is going to just go along with this just because you want it to happen, Irish. But I suppose we'll just have to talk about this tonight, won't we?
No, I really don't see any point in talking about this. Nancy and William have already packed their bags, and they will arrive tomorrow whether you like it or not. You can either accept it or leave. It's just your choice.
Oh my God, this is unbelievable! On that night, Jackson, I know that you're away on your business trip right now, but I could really use your advice if you have a minute to talk.
Renee, of course, I have time to talk. Is everything okay? Did something happen at home or something?
Well, it's about your mom, actually. She said something to me this afternoon that really kind of worried me. She told me that your sister Nancy cheated on her husband and now she's divorced. But then she told me that she's still with this guy she cheated on her husband with, William, and now both of them are coming to live with us. She told me they were going to be arriving with all their bags tomorrow, and that I didn't have a say in it at all.
Well, what? Hold on, that is a lot to take in all at once. I don't even know how to begin to respond to something like that.
But it's true. She told me about all of this in the afternoon via text. Not only that, but on top of everything I've just said, she demanded that I pay for everything that the two of them might need since neither of them is working.
Did she really say that to you? What in the world could my mom be thinking? That's just crazy.
I know, right? I tried telling her that it was just unacceptable, but she refused to listen to me.
And Nancy, too. I just can't believe that she would do something like that. I never thought that she was that kind of person at all.
I know what you mean. I just heard that all of this was happening, and I was really shocked that Nancy actually did something like that. But more than that, I was shocked that your mom appeared to take Nancy's side in this and even paid for her divorce.
Well, my mom has always let Nancy get away with basically whatever she wanted. But I think that's all it's done for Nancy. Made her think that she can get away with doing whatever she wants. Even I've tried talking to Nancy about not acting out, but she just doesn't listen to me. Still, I never thought that she would go as far as to do something like this.
I know that you and Nancy have had troubles in the past, Jackson. You've talked to me about them before. I do really think that you're sweet for trying to talk some sense into her, even though she doesn't listen.
To be honest with you, I think one of the reasons my parents ended up divorcing was that he just couldn't watch my mom raise his kids that way.
Oh, I think you've ever told me that before.
By the way, you said this guy's name was, William, right? You didn't have to get his last name, did you?
Your mom mentioned it to me once back at home. William Sanders is his full name, I think.
William Sanders. Now that name is really ringing a bell. Well,
I really don't know. I could be getting things wrong. You could say that my mind was on other things while I was talking to your mom.
of course, that makes total sense. But either way, that name is just really going to bug me. I think I'll need to look into this William guy. If he's the guy that I'm thinking of, I might have actually met him before. He was a friend of a friend of a friend or something like that. For some reason, the name just stuck in my head.
I see. Well, okay then. If that's the case, let me know if you find out anything interesting about him.
Of course, you'll be the first to know. Anyways, I'm going to text some friends and see if I can figure this out.
Got it. Good luck with that, Jackson. The next day, Irish, where are you right now? I need you here.
What are you talking about? Why are you texting me with that tone, huh? I'm out grabbing dinner with friends. What do you want? Make it quick. I'm trying to enjoy myself.
Well, it's about Nancy and William, actually.
What about those two? They'd been at home since the afternoon. Did you finally get to meet them?
Yes, I did encounter them upon returning from work. However, I'm curious as to why they were in my bedroom behaving as if it were theirs. They claimed to have already unpacked, expressing excitement about having a room again. Additionally, all my belongings were scattered in the backyard. I'd like an explanation for this situation.
Well, you relinquished your room to them, of course. That's why I dispersed all your belongings outside. Any other queries?
I didn't willingly give up my room to anyone. It seems like you made that decision for me and emptied my bedroom.
I hope this encourages you to reconsider financially supporting them as they get back on their feet.
What are you implying, Irish? What connection does one thing have with the other?
I mean that you were firm about not contributing to their financial needs. Given that, I saw little choice but to assign them your room.
I don't care about the games you're playing right now. I won't surrender my room or provide them with any money. You're attempting to involve me in something I never desired and was never consulted about, and I won't tolerate it.
Well then, you might as well grow accustomed to seeing your belongings on the lawn. You should pray it doesn't rain. I'd hate for your things to be ruined. Well, considering the forecast, it seems like we might be in for some rain tonight.
And who exactly do you think you are, talking down to me like that? I mean, why do you assume the authority to dictate everything in this household?
That's precisely what I'd like to ask you, Renee. As my daughter-in-law, you seem to think you have the right to challenge anything I instruct you to do. It's about time you learn your place.
You want to discuss who has the right to do what in this house?
Indeed, especially since you were so persistent in defying my directive to provide them with financial support. Therefore, I exercised my right to clear your belongings out of my house. Frankly, I can't fathom why you're being so unkind to these two individuals in love. They have nowhere else to go and only each other's love to rely on. And you're genuinely bothered that they're in your room? I've said it once, and I'll say it again. You either comply with my instructions or you can leave. Those are your two choices.
The next morning, "Hey, Jackson, I was just wondering if you're on your way home already."
Yeah, I'm on a train right now. It'll be a few hours before I'm back. How are things at home? I'm almost afraid to ask, but did Nancy and William end up arriving yesterday as my mom said they would?
Yes, they arrived yesterday afternoon, and they're already making themselves at home. In fact, they've taken over our bedroom as their own.
Hijacked our bedroom? What does that mean exactly?
Well, when I got home from work yesterday, the two of them had arrived. They had all their stuff unpacked in our room, and all my things had been thrown out into the backyard. Your mom said she did it because I was arguing with her. She said that if I wasn't going to help them financially, then it was her right to throw all of my things outside.
You have to be kidding me. Honestly, just what is she thinking? I can't believe my mom is acting this way. It's ridiculous. Renee, I just want you to know how sorry I am that my mom is putting you through all of this.
Jackson, it's not you who should be apologizing. It's your mom. Speaking of our mom, where was she when you got home? And did you manage to get your things back inside, okay?
Wow, Geese. I am so sorry you're having to go through all of this.
I'm sorry I couldn't tell you about any of this sooner. I was rushing around like crazy last night, and I didn't even get a moment to catch my breath until it was already past midnight.
It's okay. It sounds like you need to take a rest for now.
It's the hotel right by Union Station, the one we always walk by.
Got it. Would you like to meet me when I arrive at the station? I think I finally figured out who this William guy is, and we need to talk about it.
You really figured it out? Was he the guy you suspected all along?
It's too long to type out, honestly. I'll have to stop by my office after I arrive, but I promise to tell you all about it in the evening. I'll arrive at the station in a couple of hours, and will tell my bosses I'm taking an early lunch. I can't wait to see you, sweetie.
Oh, me neither, Jackson. I just want all of this to be over already. So I guess I'll meet you at the station around 11 then.
Perfect. I'll see you then, Renee. Get some rest in the meantime.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye. See you soon. That afternoon. Hey, Jackson. I just wanted to say that I'm really grateful for you telling me about what you found out at lunch. I know you said you would tell me in the evening, but I couldn't wait that long.
Of course, Renee. I didn't mean to tease you with that kind of information. I just wasn't sure how long it would take to explain everything.
I know. I was really shocked by what you told me. Meeting William in person didn't give me any inkling that he was that type of person.
I completely agree. When my friend shared details about him, I got chills down my spine and this unsettling feeling.
If someone like him is currently residing in our home, I think I'd rather stay in the hotel than return.
You're right. It's a good idea. You should stay there until we have everything sorted out.
The next day.
Renee, I'm fed up with this charade. How much longer are you going to keep us all waiting?
What's troubling you now, Irish?
Don't act like you're clueless. I want to know when you plan to start financially supporting Nancy and William.
How many times must I say it? I'm not giving either of them a single cent. I never implied that I would. I've made it clear that this is not happening, so stop asking.
You're really testing my patience. If you persist in defying your mother-in-law, I'll have no choice but to push Jackson into divorcing you.
1 hour later.
Renee, are you there? You have to help me. It's just terrible.
What's the issue this time, Irish?
My retirement funds, my savings, a total of $30,000 has disappeared into thin air.
Oh, really? You mean that cash stash you had in your room?
Exactly. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I asked Nancy if she might know where it went. She claimed that her William used it all for a lavish party to celebrate moving in with us.
Impressive. How do you even spend that much on a single party?
It's not impressive. It's my money, and I want it back. You have to help me.
Why are you turning to me for help? I suggest you stop wasting time texting me and start looking for a job.
But I'm your mother-in-law, Renee. You owe me for letting you live with me. That's why you have to help me.
Irish, I've been meaning to ask you something. Do you genuinely believe you were graciously allowing me to live with you?
Well, what do you mean by that? You don't have any other family, so obviously when you got married, this house would go to me. It's a matter of showing respect to your in-laws.
I know both my parents are deceased. Thank you very much. I'm curious about how you suddenly believe you own the house they left to me. I inherited the lease to the house and have been paying rent on it since.
So, you're claiming ownership?
Exactly. I've had this house since before I got married. After Jackson and I did get married, he moved in with me. Following your divorce, Jackson and I took pity on you and agreed to let you live with us. Of course, that was before I realized how challenging living with you was going to be.
That can't be true.
I'm not finished. Now that you've invited Nancy and William to live with us, I see no point in staying there any longer. I've canceled the lease for the house, and you all have until the end of the month to move out. You, William, and Nancy better start packing your things quickly.
But you can't do that. Where am I supposed to go? I just told you that I lost all my retirement money.
That's a problem for you to figure out. After that, apparently, William was in more debt than what he owed to the court. I heard from a neighbor one night. A black van showed up outside our old house. Some robust-looking men stepped out, barged their way in, took William and Nancy, and drove off into the night. I don't even want to think about what happened to those two. As for Irish, with no money and no house, she had to go back to work and learn to live on her own again. I hear she's now in a small apartment, barely making ends meet these days.
Good day, Miyuki. What are you up to now?
Hello there, Diana. I was about to leave to go shopping. I need to go grocery shopping for tonight's meal. Did you require my assistance with anything?
You're going to the supermarket at this hour? Isn't it becoming late? That implies you haven't even begun to prepare dinner for tonight.
I haven't even gotten home yet because I just finished working. Actually, I'm about to begin driving to the grocery shop from work. Is there anything more I should know?
I can't believe you're still working this late. You should devote your entire time to being a full-time housewife. Are you certain you're getting all of your chores and cooking done properly? You must not be slack. If you are, I will not forgive you.
I'm not doing anything slack. My husband and I agreed that I would continue to work at home even after we married. He stated that he would assist me with housework and cooking. That is why I'm not a full-time housewife.
I believe you should concentrate only on being a housewife. You're still not pregnant since you're still working? I'm getting a little tired of waiting for you to give birth to my grandson. I want to visit my grandchildren while I can. It's entirely your fault. A nicer woman would have already given me a grandchild.
Did you call solely to say that? Is that all you've got to say to me?
You're quite arrogant. How dare you respond to me in that way?
I'm sorry, but I don't have the time to talk to you about something that isn't urgent. Is it all right if we talk later? When I have some free time?
It's a true emergency. I'd like to speak with you about it right now. It's about the money you send me each month. I'd like you to send me $2,000 instead of $1,000.
What happened? Why do you suddenly need more money?
The $1,000 you've been sending me is simply insufficient. Every month I require more funds to spend. All I want is that you boost the money you send me to $2,000. You're the one in charge of your and Harry's earnings, right? I know you're a useless wife, but you're managing the finances, right? It is the wife's responsibility to manage the household finances.
I handle the money. You require me to send you more money all of a sudden. I believe that $1,000 is a really substantial sum of money to send you. Your husband is still working as well. You shouldn't be in such financial distress.
We're not in any financial difficulty. It's just not enough. Why are you being so obstinate? It costs only $2,000. Do you give a damn about your mother-in-law?
I don't dislike you. It's just that I think we're being really generous by providing you $1,000 every month in financial assistance. We must also save for our future, especially if we intend to have children. Didn't we just raise the sum we provided you from $600 to $1,000? I think it will be difficult to spend more than $1,000.
Why are you so frugal with such a small sum of money? Just give me $2,000 directly from your paycheck. The problem has been resolved.
You know that's not going to happen. Please, no more questions. I have already stated that I will not give you more than $1,000.
I'm sure you make a good. You don't need to be so self-centered. You may easily cover your living bills and rent with your paycheck alone. Instead, you can send me $2,000 from Harry's pay.
You've gone insane. Do you realize how ridiculous your suggestion is?
I'm not crazy. You should simply pay attention to what I'm saying. As your mother-in-law, I expect you to be more respectful.
It's not that I don't respect you. I'm just saying that we're not in a position to provide you with $2,000 per month in financial assistance.
Okay then, I'd like you to divorce Harry.
Wait, what? Are you certain?
You don't give me any cash. You also do not become pregnant. I want to abuse my daughter-in-law the way you do. I want to see my grandchildren, and I want money. Get a divorce from my son if you can't do your job properly. I'm going to request that he locate a better woman to marry than you. I want a daughter-in-law who is respectful to me and follows my commands.
I can't believe you're talking to me like that. We haven't even begun to consider having children. We intended to save money for ourselves before starting our own family. We'll never be able to save any money if we keep increasing our financial assistance to you. You're one of the reasons we haven't begun trying for a baby yet.
Stop creating such ridiculous excuses. All I need is for you to send me the $2,000. You're not pregnant because you work full-time. What is the point? I'm sure your pay is pitiful.
Everything you're saying to me is completely ridiculous. You want me to divorce Harry because I won't increase the amount of money we send you?
A daughter-in-law who does not listen to her mother-in-law is a complete failure. You're a total waste of time. Get divorced as soon as possible.
I didn't expect you to go so far. This time, you've really stepped over the line.
Stop interrupting me and shut up. Just do as I say. Increase the amount of money you send me each month to $2,000.
Sorry, but that is not an option. If you really need the money, get out and earn it.
Stop being so cocky. You're not even making half of what Harry is. If you're not going to send me $2,000, seek a divorce right away.
That's all. I've got enough of you mistreating me. I'm getting a divorce.
Wait, what? What?
Yes, I am serious. I'm going to go to Harry and ask for a divorce. Isn't this what you're looking for? You don't want me to be your in-law's daughter?
What are you thinking? All you have to do is give me some additional cash. I can't believe you decided to get a divorce from him. I suppose you never really loved him in the first place.
Please stop talking. I'm sick and weary of having to talk to you.
What exactly did you say to me? What are you thinking? I'm your in-law's mom. Show me some respect.
Don't be concerned. You won't be my mother-in-law for long. I just informed you I'm getting divorced because you told me to. I've had enough of you. I don't want to stay married if you continue to treat me like this. You're doing much too much harm to my mental health and bank account. I'd much rather be single once more. I'm going to divorce Harry. You're going to be the one to explain why we're getting divorced. You'll have to admit that it was your fault.
Are you serious about blaming me for everything?
I'm not blaming you. This is completely your responsibility. I recently informed Harry that I intend to divorce him. You no longer need to be concerned about having me as your daughter-in-law. I'm packing my belongings and leaving right away.
Good. Never come back. That's what you get for defying me. I'm never going to see your face again.
1 hour later.
Mickey, what are you doing? Now's the time to pick up the phone. I need to speak with you. Are you paying attention?
What do you expect of me? I don't want to hear any more of your slurs. I assumed you didn't want to see or speak with me again. Please stop phoning.
I didn't want to talk to you. Just that Harry is furious with me. What makes him so upset with me?
Are you stupid? Do you really have no idea why he's so upset? He's enraged because you forced us to divorce.
It's not my fault. It's yours. This would not have happened if you had simply agreed to pay me $2,000 every month. In any case, the funds are all coming from Harry's income. I'm not sure why you were so frugal.
You are, in fact, incorrect. All of the money we sent you came from my income.
Is that correct? You must be deceiving me.
I'm not deceiving you. Harry just started a new job. He does not make a lot of money.
What do you mean?
One of his pals asked him to help create a company. They're probably still in the planning stages.
What exactly do you mean by this? I'm not getting it.
It suggests he isn't yet receiving a regular paycheck. They are just getting started. He's still going through a rough patch. That is why I was the one who sent you all of the financial assistance.
Well, I had no idea.
Do you understand why he didn't tell you? He knew you'd be opposed to him changing jobs. You always exaggerate the most insignificant details and start spreading rumors to everyone. That's probably why Harry didn't tell you he resigned his steady job.
What's the story with that tongue?
I'm simply speaking the truth. I'm not making any mistakes. I was the one who gave him money. We were collaborating so that he could concentrate on launching the new company with his friends. Then, out of nowhere, I decided to divorce him. That's why he's mad at you.
So you're blaming me for everything?
Who do you believe is to blame? It's clear that you're to blame here. You told me I should get a divorce if I didn't want to send you more money? That's something I've never heard anyone say. I can't believe you put me in this situation.
I didn't expect you'd get a divorce. All of that was merely to get you to pay me a little more money every month. I also know you have no intention of divorcing Harry. You're only saying that to worry me?
I am considering obtaining a divorce. I suppose I may finally tell you the truth. Having you as a mother-in-law is incredibly difficult. Seeing your name in my alerts usually makes my day miserable. I was also giving you $1,000 per month from my own earnings. I have no issues with Harry. I wouldn't mind marrying him if it weren't for you. I simply cannot bear the thought of being married to you as my mother-in-law.
Hold on a second. Please hurry up and return home. Harry is enraged, and I'm at a loss for words.
I'll return home under one condition. You cut ties with both of us completely. If that isn't doable, I'm not returning.
What exactly are you saying? I'm not sure what you mean.
I was just telling Harry the same thing. If he entirely cuts relations with you, I will remain married to him.
That is absolutely not going to happen. I am not breaking off contact with my own son. Remember how we're a family? Stop expecting us to do something we can't.
Family, please quit making fun of me. I never want to have to deal with you as a family member again.
Why must you say that to me? That is extremely offensive.
Insulting? What about going over the text messages you sent me today? That is the definition of insulting.
Okay, good. I'll admit that I may have talked too much to you. Nonetheless, you're my daughter-in-law. I should be able to tell you whatever I want.
You should not be able to say whatever you want to me. Harry just texted me. We've chosen to end our relationship with you totally.
What did you say?
I also recently discovered that you've been keeping your husband in the dark about the fact that you've been receiving financial assistance from us.
I'm not sure what you're referring to.
Your husband was apparently perplexed as to why you were purchasing so many new items. You've been buying high-end apparel with the money I've been providing you.
What's that? How did I find out about that? Who informed you?
Your husband told me everything. He inquired as to why you were suddenly purchasing so many high-end clothes, goods. Did you just ignore him? I assumed you couldn't tell him how much money you were collecting from me. After all, you were utilizing it all on your own.
I'm extremely sorry. I didn't intend to spend it completely alone. It's just that the apparel was more pricey than I anticipated. I just wanted some cash to spend on myself. That's why I asked for a bit more money every month.
That is a truly selfish excuse. However, I'm not surprised. You are, after all, that type of person.
What exactly do you mean by this? I apologize to you already.
By the way, your husband has informed me that I should stop sending you guys money. He told me that receiving money from his daughter-in-law would make him feel awful. For the time being, I've decided to discontinue sending you any cash assistance.
What did you just say? You can't quit sending me money.
I may consider sending financial assistance straight to your husband in the future because I have faith in him. I will never send you another dime. As I have stated, I will also sever all relations with you.
Are you really attempting to get rid of me?
This was a joint decision between Harry and me. I'm going back to living with him. This is the last time I'll ever talk to you. It was great getting to know you.
Wait a minute. If you disconnect me, I won't have any money to spend on myself. I won't even be able to spend time with my buddies.
If you really need the money, get a job. I hope you haven't had to do much housekeeping lately. You must have a lot of spare time.
I don't want to go back to work. Also, please do not sever ties with me. I have decided that you will be my daughter-in-law. Please continue to provide me financial assistance. I've now recognized what a fantastic person you are.
It's pointless sucking up to me at this point. I'm still going to cut all relations with you. If you absolutely need the money, I urge that you return to work. Please do not contact me again.
After that, Diana was no longer financially supported by Harry and Miyuki. She no longer had any money to buy attractive clothes or go out to supper with her pals. Diana had to borrow money from a friend in order to continue living her own life. Her husband grew furious when he discovered how much money she had borrowed from her pals. He told her to take charge and repay her pals with her own money. Diana needed to work because she had no savings. Diana recognized how difficult it was to earn even $2,000 every month.
My house is overrun with pests. I have 2 burdensome freeloaders cohabitating with me. What a pity. Wouldn't you agree, Flora?
2 freeloaders? Are you referring to me and Tony?
Who else am I referring to? Thanks to my son, you're enjoying the privilege of living here without paying rent and eating for free. You're essentially taking advantage of the situation without contributing anything in return. How lucky for you. I'm currently enjoying a cup of coffee with some friends, and our conversation has shifted toward discussing our respective in-laws. They helped me realize how fortunate you are.
I have to disagree. I go to work and then get labeled as a freeloader by my mother-in-law? Please don't call me that, by the way. It isn't right.
Oh my, aren't you a feisty one? You were the one who forcefully entered my house carrying that unsightly child of yours. After the birth of that child, all you do is remain at home, entertaining yourself with it, neglecting any substantial responsibilities. What would you call that sort of lifestyle? You're just taking advantage of me. Do you think you're a queen bee and I'm just a worker?
Play. I look after my child while also working at home. And I also do the housework.
Work? I don't know what sort of lie you're trying to spin there. All you do is play around using my son's money. What an audacious little thing you are to try and claim otherwise.
If you would only look after Tony, then I would be able to work more.
I hope you're joking, but that's not even funny. What a bad sense of humor you have.
What? But it's true.
You want me to look after that ugly spawn of yours? It is seriously the ugliest baby I've ever seen. I honestly doubt that that thing is even Harry's child. You were probably knocked up by some other guy that you met on the wrong side of town. Just the thought of that makes me sick.
Why do you have to say things like that? You're being so rude. What did I ever do to you? And believe me, if Harry wasn't the father, I wouldn't be here. And if I wasn't here, then you two would be in a very tight spot.
Tight spot? Just because you're not here? My, don't you think highly of yourself? I never wanted you to be here in the first place. Same with that spawn of yours, too.
You need to stop wallowing in denial and just accept that this is how things are. Tony is your grandchild. But you shouldn't be harping on us. You need to talk to Harry as well. He's the one that needs to change.
Excuse me. I know you're not going to start criticizing my precious Harry now. Who's being rude?
He's already a full-grown adult. He's 30. I don't think it's appropriate to call him your precious anymore.
He's my son. I can call him whatever I want. You stay out of it. You didn't give birth to a boy, so you can't understand. A boy is the best thing that you can have. They are precious, and they will always be your child.
Only to you. As far as everyone else is concerned, he is an able-bodied citizen. At the very least, he needs to learn how to take care of himself. Right now, he can hardly even dress himself.
So what? His workplace doesn't have a dress code. He can wear whatever he wants. If his workplace doesn't say anything, then who are you to give your opinion?
That's what you think.
You? Is that your attitude? Caroline took you in. This is how you treat us. Karma is gonna come back and get you. Mark my words. You'll get what you deserve. Don't come crying to me when something bad happens to you.
I'll keep that in mind. Anyway, this conversation is going nowhere. We should just stop. It's time for Tony's bath anyway.
The next day.
Is this Flora?
Yes, it is. And who is this?
My name is Ina.
Sorry, but I don't know any Ina.
I'm so sorry.
What? Why are you apologizing?
I've been dating Harry. I'm so sorry.
You've been dating my husband? You're joking.
It's true, but I swear I didn't know that he had a wife and child. I would never have dated him if I knew.
Really now? Then, what do you want with me? Are you going to tell me to break up with him?
Of course I am, but that's not why I contacted you. I just wanted to apologize.
Well, that's not fair.
What do you mean by fair?
So you're just apologizing because you feel guilty about what you did. Did you think that would absolve you of everything?
I really am sorry. I never wanted to cheat. My father, he cheated on my mother multiple times when I was a child. I saw how my mother suffered. That's why when I found out that Harry was married, I just couldn't stay silent. I also want to warn you. Harry has been seeing other women as well. I'm not the only one.
What? Other women?
Yes, I was shocked too. I'm not his only girlfriend. I know this might be hard to hear, but I had to tell you.
Are you telling the truth? How do I know you're not just lying to me to scare me off so that you can be with him?
That's not what I'm trying to do. I have proof. That man is a pig. Even though you're his wife, it honestly feels like he's been cheating on me as well. And he's been cheating on both of us with others. I know that it really isn't my place to tell you all this, but I just couldn't let it keep happening.
Thank you for letting me know, I guess. I spent all day taking care of my child, so I don't have time to get out of the house. I didn't even suspect that he was cheating on me.
I really am so sorry. I have always been aware of how much pain my father caused me and my mother. I never wanted to be a part of what he did to us. But somehow I grew up to be involved in something just like it. I feel like I'm just as bad as he was. I can't express how truly and deeply sorry I really am.
You said that your name is Alan?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you for telling me the truth. For what it's worth, I do believe that your apology is genuine.
Thank you so much. Please let me extend my apologies to your child as well. I never wanted to hurt her, and I never wanted any child to go through what I went through.
If you have any photographic evidence, may I have it? I will forgive you if you give those pictures to me.
Yes, of course. I'll give them all to you.
Thank you for cooperating with me. I forgive you, so please stop torturing yourself over this. You seem like a good girl, and I know that you can find a much better man than a horrible pig like my husband. Free yourself from that relationship, and I hope that you can find a proper man. I wish you all the best.
Thank you for saying that. Again, I'm really sorry.
A few days later.
I'm done having leeches like you in my house and taking up my space. Hurry up and pack your things. Get out right now.
What? Are you serious right now?
I don't need you or you're a spa in my life. All I need is my son. We are fine without you. I've already filed for divorce, so you need to get out. Don't forget to take your spawn with you. Your leeching days are over.
Leeching? Your son is the only one who is leeching off of people.
I'm not interested in any more of your slander against my son. Just get out. Just get out.
And what do you mean you filed for divorce? How could you possibly have done that?
I found a divorce petition earlier today already signed. I just took the liberty of dropping it off for you.
You stole my thunder. I was looking forward to the day when I can file for divorce. Harry and I signed those papers way back along with our marriage certificate. We only got married because I got pregnant. I wanted to make sure that I had an escape route if things didn't work out, so it's part of our prenup. I had him sign divorce papers as well. That was the only way I was going to marry him.
Why on earth would you have wanted to do that? Why would you even want to divorce my beautiful son?
Why? That's such an easy answer. It's because he's a good-for-nothing leech. If he wanted to divorce me, he wouldn't be able to live the cushiony life that he has now. He tried his best to tie me down.
What are you even talking about? He supports you and your little brat.
You do know that he still hasn't given up on his music, right?
That's just a hobby. Said he plays a bit of music when he has some free time. What about it? That doesn't make him a bad person, and now you should call him a leech.
Oh, But you are so sadly mistaken. He is still hoping to make it big and live off of his music.
What? Live off of his music? What about his job? He leaves the house every day to go to work, doesn't he?
He doesn't. When he goes out every morning, he isn't going to work at some office. He's actually going to band rehearsals. You've seen his rocker outfits, right? No job would ever allow him to dress like that. So, did she really think that he was going to some office dressed like that?
Why not? Companies these days aren't as stiff as they used to be. People can wear whatever they want. But you're saying that he isn't working. That can't be true.
Maybe you'll believe me when I tell you how much he makes. He only brings home about $200 a month. And that would be considered a good month.
What? Only $200 a month?
Why, yes. He does live gigs on Friday nights. The rest of the week is spent rehearsing. Oh, and recently he started his own YouTube channel. After paying studio rental fees and other things, he's only left with $200.
It might be a small amount, but he's still getting paid. You need to apologize for calling him a leech.
That's it. That's what you chose to focus on. Don't you have anything else to say about him? About the way he is living?
Do you need to know what the definition of a leech is? A leech is a person that doesn't even contribute a single penny to the household, and they rely on others to live. But that isn't my son. He's contributing something, so he isn't a leech. Harry's out there working hard and trying to make his dream come true. That's admirable. He even able to bring money home while doing it.
He might be bringing that money inside the house, but it's definitely not going towards anything for the family.
What is he doing with it then?
He uses that money to pay for cigarettes instead. He said that he has to look like a rocker and act like a rocker. He claims the rockers have to smoke and that they can't vape because that isn't the rock life. The price of cigarettes has gone up every year. I'm sure you're aware of his smoking habits. He smokes a pack a day and he doesn't care where he does it. Even when Tony is in the same room as him, he still lights up.
I thought he only did that because this job causes him stress. But a lot of people smoke.
Nope. He only does it to look and act cool. He basically smokes the little money that he makes away. He's really good for nothing. But it really doesn't matter anymore because I don't have to deal with him from now on. He's not my problem anymore. I was only holding everything in for the sake of our daughter. But thanks to you, I don't have to do that anymore either.
Wait a minute.
Thank you so much, Naomi. You saved me. You talked a lot of smack about me, but at the very end, you did me a huge favor. Thank you. You saved me from going through all the trouble myself. You're going to be taking over the bill payments, right? Someone will need to pay the electric bill, the taxes, the phone bill, and buy all the food. Oh, and the rent, of course. You're going to be doing that from now on, right?
You were the one who has been paying all that?
Yes. Who else? Your son definitely doesn't make enough money to pay any of those. He doesn't have any money at all. I'm actually quite a successful writer. All I need to do is write articles during my free time and I can make $1,000 a week.
$1,000 a week?
Actually, I was in a pickle. I already achieved financial independence and my love for Harry had burned out a long time ago. I was going to file for divorce soon. I went to the shelf where I had put the divorce papers but was shocked when I couldn't find them. There. I thought I must have misplaced the envelope somewhere. Where did you find them?
They were underneath my mattress. I was changing my sheets and they just fell out like a little gift from God.
Oh, I see. Harry didn't want me to get a divorce, so he must have hidden them in your room. So not only did you find the papers for me, but you handed them over to the courthouse as well. Thank you very much for doing that. Now I will finally be able to be free.
Wait, just wait a second. Do you really intend on throwing my son away like that?
Yes, in a heartbeat. It might take a while for the divorce to be granted, but I don't see the reason why I should stay here any longer. My job here is done. Enjoy your life with your precious son. By the way, Harry has a gig this weekend, so he won't be back until tomorrow afternoon. In the meantime, I'll be gathering my things and getting out of here by tonight.
No, you can't do that. Just listen to me for a second, Flora. I'm sorry for saying all those horrible things to you. I had no idea what was going on. So, could you please forgive me?
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not going to forgive you.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna forgive you. What? But I asked really nicely. I'm your mother-in-law, and I'm asking for forgiveness. How can you be so cold?
Because it's too late. And by the way, I'm going to be coming at him hard in the divorce proceedings. Expect the alimony to be substantial. Like $50,000 substantial. We're thinking of getting it up front as well. With his lifestyle, there's no guarantee that he'll be able to pay monthly.
$50,000? Are you crazy?
You called me a leech. All the while Harry was cheating on me with several women. I had to suffer from that. And on top of that, I was paying for everything. I was carrying a very heavy burden. My lawyer said that I can ask for pain and suffering compensation.
Lawyer? You talked to a lawyer already?
Of course. I couldn't find the divorce paper, so I had to contact a lawyer to help draw another one up. But again, thanks to you, you found the papers. I don't have to pay the lawyer for document fees. You saved me again.
Oh my goodness, what have I done? Harry's gonna be so mad when he finds out that I was the one that handed in the papers. I hate it when he gets mad. I can't get through once he has flown off the handle. You know how he gets when he's angry.
Oh, I definitely know. There's no stopping him when he gets angry. He just needs to burn himself out. I have been on the receiving end of his anger while you just go hide in your room. But the only way to calm him down a bed is with money.
Money? That's how you got him to stop his rampage.
Yes, there's no other way that would work.
How much does it cost?
Do you have any idea how much it costs for him to do his gigs? He needs to pay for transportation as well as clothes. It costs quite a bit, so my best advice for you is to not get him angry.
But I don't have any money. I don't have an income. I just live off of my pension.
Oh, and I haven't even thought about child support yet. I deserve that as well. Actually, Tony deserves that. And it's not like he's any kind of good influence, so I think she'll be much better off with the money than with him around.
How can you even say about that? You're so cold. You're evil. Don't you have any empathy at all?
Don't talk to me about empathy. You have been exploiting me ever since I got together with Harry. You haven't even shown me an inch of kindness since the beginning. This is karma coming back to get you. You reap what you sow.
After that.
In the end, Naomi achieved her desired outcome. She was able to live independently with her son. She quickly discovered that Harry was spending a significantly larger amount of money than she could have ever anticipated. Naomi had no other option but to end her retirement and take up a part-time position at a fast food establishment in order to contribute towards their expenses. She had envisioned a peaceful life after retiring, but her son's actions shattered that dream completely. She inadvertently contributed to the situation by indulging Harry excessively, leading to the current circumstances. She will bear the consequences of that mistake for the remainder of her existence. As for myself, witnessing the effects of excessive parental indulgence, I aspire to strike a harmonious balance between affection and firm guidance when raising my own daughter.
Selena, what are you up to? Have you finished preparing lunch yet? What is taking so long? You're not that good in the kitchen for a housewife, are you?
Keelan, I'm not home today. As I previously stated, I have a job today. I made your lunch yesterday, so you can take it out of the fridge and heat it up if you're hungry. It has been labeled for you.
Oh my God. Aren't you ashamed of yourself for making up such stories? Not to mention making your mother-in-law eat cold leftovers. You can't possibly do anything properly, can you?
They aren't stale leftovers. I made it for you for lunch, like I mentioned, and you may reheat it in the microwave. And I'm not making things up. What am I meant to be lying about?
Oh, I know you're a full-time housewife swindling my son's money. You don't have to appear to be employed or anything. Are you out shopping or something?
What gives you that impression? And why would I fabricate a lie in the first place? You can ask Roger about it when you see him.
I'm sure you're telling your horrible housewife buddies about me. It's very bad. Why aren't you down at the fertility clinic if you have so much spare time?
Why are you bringing it up now?
Despite the fact that you claim to be a full-time housewife, you go out and leave the tasks unfinished so you may gossip about me. And how come you and Roger haven't had any children? It must be your fault because I have yet to have a grandchild. Do you not believe you should take some responsibility and act? Roger is a sad case.
I don't need to visit a fertility clinic because children are a blessing. If it happens, it happens. And besides, I do have a job. Because of the epidemic, I mainly work from home these days, but there are instances when I need to visit the workplace. I'm sure I've mentioned it before.
Even though Felix purchased a wonderful home for the two of you to live in, I can see it going to waste in your hands. Aren't you ashamed to call yourself a housewife?
I don't consider myself a housewife. I told you I have a job. What are you on about? The house is fine?
To be honest, Roger does not deserve such treatment.
What exactly do you mean by that?
He was finally able to accumulate enough money to buy a brand new house because of all of his hard work over the years. And yet, his wife is doing nothing to keep it. Simply sitting around idly, day after day, allowing the place to degrade. After all, you are a parasite.
Did Roger truly say any of that?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Did Roger inform you that he had purchased the house?
He, of course, purchased the house. It's unmistakable. I'm not even going to ask him.
Isn't that correct? If you say so. Anyway, I'm about to start working again, so no more texts from me till I return home. And don't forget about your lunch in the fridge. I made it especially for you, so I'm confident you'll be fine.
You're such a heartless woman. I'm not sure how Roger married a useless lady like you. Oh, my boy.
Good day, Keelan. A few days later. What did you tell your mom about the house, Roger?
Huh. What exactly is going on? What about the house? Is something going on?
Why did Mother believe you purchased the house? Did you tell her about it? I believe you should explain the situation to her.
Oh, come on. That's unnecessary. Anyway, why would I deliberately say something that would irritate her?
What do you mean, irritate her? How about me? Your mom doesn't seem to realize I'm working. It goes in one ear and out the other, no matter how many times I explain it to her. She even referred to me as a parasite. She accused me of living on your money. Doesn't that worry you in the least?
To be honest, it doesn't.
Roger, are you serious?
It's impossible to avoid. You know she's at that age now. She was set in her ways and all that. It is too late for her to change her ways. I wouldn't put too much stock in what she says. Simply allow her to believe whatever she wants. It's not a huge deal. I believe we should just let her believe that her son worked well and was able to get a wonderful house. That way, she'll be happier. Don't you think it's best for all three of us if we just leave it? What's the issue?
I'm not bothered if she believes it. Or more accurately, I don't care either way. However, it becomes a problem when she resents me for it. She's continually insulting me and moaning about everything I do. To be absolutely honest, I'm over it. Can't you just tell her what's going on and end it? I'm tired of dealing with it.
As I previously stated, why would I go out of my way to say something that would irritate her?
Don't you want your wife and mother to get along with one another? Are you all right with us fighting all the time?
Selena, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, I'm busy right now. I'll call you later.
Busy? So what are you doing?
You know, this and that. I don't have time to go into detail.
Have you been looking for work lately? Why are you so busy when you haven't even gone to an interview in months?
It's not important, okay? Could you please leave me alone? Anyway, whatever you two are going through has nothing to do with me. You're both women, so you should be able to get along. I'll leave you to it. I don't want to become involved.
But you are the source of her resentment. Roger, this isn't right. A few days later.
That's all. I'm done with you. You must get out of this house immediately. Stop taking advantage of my son.
Please excuse me.
If you're not going to behave like a respectable wife, I'm not going to allow you freeload on my son any longer, you parasite. So I demand that you leave.
What exactly are you on about? You want me to go? Why? I've always been nice to you. After all, you're the one who made the decision to come and live with us in the first place. And now you want me to go? Do you believe that will happen?
Oh, I know it'll happen. I'm Roger's mother, after all. I have the authority to make decisions about who resides in our home.
Despite the fact that none of you owns the house.
You've done it again, acting all lofty and powerful. You have no right to minimize his accomplishments. He's been working for years to be able to afford this property. You should express your gratitude to him. To be honest, your terrible attitude is exactly why you're a parasite. A housewife who is unable to bear children and refuses to do housekeeping has no value in our world. There is no worth at all.
What an archaic mindset. I'm almost impressed that you can say it with a straight face despite having no knowledge of the subject.
You aim to mock me in addition to bad-mouthing my son?
No way. In fact, if you insist, I intend to honor your request.
Excellent. So, you'll be leaving right away. I feel like my luck is dwindling with every second you spend in this house. So, you do me a favor and depart the house as soon as feasible.
Fine. If that's how you feel, I suppose there's nothing you can do. I'll be gone before you realize it.
It's about time. My son and I shall be liberated from your oppressive presence. As you may imagine, living in the same house as a filthy parasite like you has been quite stressful. For me.
Now you're truly overstepping your bounds. Do you suppose I'll just accept that? This is known as verbal abuse?
I couldn't care less how you feel about it. You'll be out of the home anyhow. Roger's house, by the way, was purchased with money acquired through effort and tears. We don't want a parasite like you hanging around who doesn't give anything to the house. Please, just leave us alone.
Sure. Well, I'll just sell the house.
What? What exactly do you mean?
Keelan, farewell.
Just a moment, young lady. Please explain what you meant. What exactly do you mean? Sell the house? What exactly do you intend to do?
You may wonder how. It is, after all, my home. So, if you insist on my leaving, I suppose I'll have no choice but to sell it. Unless you decide to leave, in which case I will almost certainly sell it. After all, it is a lovely home, as you stated. I'm confident I'll be able to sell it quickly. But, in any case, you no longer have to put up with a nasty parasite like me. Does that make you feel better?
Wait a second. What exactly is going on? What exactly are you saying? What exactly do you mean by your house? What do you mean? You've been babbling all along. You can't possibly do all of that. Don't act as though this house is yours when Roger has worked hard for years to afford it. You have no right to disrespect my son.
I'm not mocking anyone. The truth is, I own this house. In the legal sense.
How can that be?
I paid for it with my money. The contract is in my name.
I don't comprehend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you astonished that the house you've been living in all this time, which you thought belonged to your son, now belongs to your cold-hearted parasitic daughter-in-law? Do you need a moment to digest that? The house is mine. Therefore, if you want me to leave, you must buy it from me. Not that your Roger has the funds to do so, but you are welcome to try.
What exactly is going on here? So this isn't Roger's house?
That's what I've been trying to tell you all along. Roger, by the way, hasn't worked in over a year. He is unemployed.
What exactly is he?
Oh, he didn't seem to tell you, did he? He initially attempted to locate another employment, but gave up when he could not find immediate success. He hasn't had a job interview in months, nor has he sent out a CV. This entire time, he's been living off of my money.
So where's he been all day?
He generally drives to the drive, through down the road, and spends the entire day there. He occasionally goes out to the racecourse to wager or simply waits at a pub until it gets dark. Or he just spends the day at his girlfriend's house playing video games.
What do you mean his girlfriend's house? Gambling?
You're not telling the truth. You're making stuff up yet again. None of those things would ever occur to Roger. You are free to believe whatever you wish. However, it will not affect the fact that what I just told you is true. You can ask him. It wasn't him who has been there for you the whole time. It's been me. I've let you both live in my house, and I've covered all of your bills. You didn't know anything about it.
No way. Are you sure Roger is unemployed? That cannot be true. It's illogical. How have you been able to exist if neither of you are working?
How many times do I have to say this? I'm employed.
I do my work from home.
I've been working since before Roger and I were married, so I've accumulated some savings. But I can't continue to live in the same house with you two and deal with your behavior. I'll be leaving this place, so I'll sell the house.
But wait a minute. Where are you going if what you say is true? We make no money. How will we survive?
I've got no idea. You'll have to work things out with your scumbag son and decide for yourselves.
You have no right to label my son a scumbag. That's a terrible thing to say about your own hubby.
That's the truth. He is unemployed, therefore. I doubt he will be able to pay alimony if I divorce him. But since we've arrived at this stage, I've decided to divorce him. In the best case scenario, his girlfriend will pay his legal bills.
What's the point? You intend to divorce him and sell your home. Are you certain?
Obviously, I'm serious. Why would I want to stay in this house and support my unfaithful husband? I'm not interested. In any case, please decide whether the two of you will leave the house or stay and buy it from me. Because the property market is still on the rise, I encourage you make your decision as soon as possible.
Remove it immediately. How did you do it? You're Roger's wife, right? I'll admit that I was unaware of his unemployment. However, everyone experiences difficulties in life. And it's your obligation as his wife to be there for him when things become tough.
I did back him up, actually, for an entire year. I put up with your verbal and physical assaults. I tolerated his deception and let him gamble away my money. But this is where it all comes down to. To be honest, I'm at a loss for words.
But you can't just compel us to leave. You're not thinking clearly. Consider the consequences of your actions.
And have you two considered my situation?
What precisely do you mean?
Did you try to compel me to leave? You mistook this for Roger's home. Did you consider what I would do? Where would I go?
Couldn't you just go back to live with your folks or something?
My folks live on the other side of the country. You had completely forgotten about me. So, you have no right to complain when I treat you similarly.
What exactly are you attempting to say?
How many times do I need to say it? I'm going to sell the house. If you want me to leave, I must sell it, because it's my residence. Do you understand now? I don't care where you and your scumbag son go.
How can you have such a callous attitude toward us? We're a part of your family.
Nope. You're just some other people who have nothing to do with me after the divorce is finalized. I'm not acting irresponsibly. Although I'm sure you went white as a sheep during this conversation, I've reached my limit. This is the course of action I've been compelled to take. You realize that everything is your fault, right? So make your bed and sleep in it.
Please, Selena, think about Roger and me for a moment.
I'm done thinking about you two. I no longer need any of you in my life. No matter how hard you try, I've already made up my mind. I no longer have feelings for either of you. And when he stopped looking for work and began cheating on me with another woman, I went frigid. I'm glad I made the decision to divorce him. By the way, I've informed Roger about the situation. Good day to you, Keelan.
Selena, pause. Roger is currently unemployed, so how are we expected to survive? Who's going to back us up?
Who knows? Certainly not me. I suppose you'll have to obtain a job? After all, you're not old enough to qualify for a pension. For the time being, if you want to survive, you'll have to work. That, or make your son work. In any case, it is no longer relevant to me.
Selena, please rethink.
Why would I do something like that?
I can't deny that we've had a few misunderstandings thus far. But from now on, let's strive to get along better. It is still not too late. I'm available to assist you around the house. Let us three look after each other. Because we are family, we must support one another.
Think about it. Your attitude toward me has changed now that you're in danger. Sorry, but it is too late. But I must say, that made me laugh. Anyway, from now on, you and I are strangers. So stop referring to the three of us as family. Have you ever treated me like family before? And now that it's convenient, you want to get along with me?
I get it. I sincerely apologize for anything I've done to you. Please don't desert us. We have nowhere to go, and I can't seem to find work.
So I know where your son gets it. I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. If you want to survive, you must stop grumbling and start seeking for job. Good luck with your job searches, both of you. You're gonna need it. After that, thank you. Keelan discovered the truth about her son and recognized what I told her was accurate. Roger was ultimately stumped. He was divorced, jobless, and obliged to pay alimony since he had been adulterous and abusive. He couldn't do anything to save himself,